Our family lost a mother, a wife, a sister, a daughter, a granddaughter, a niece, a cousin. Her children are miraculously home and safe, but she is not. She was murdered by terrorists in her home just for being Jewish. Adi Vital-Kaploun, 33 years old, was a beautiful person with a warm soul that touched her family and friends with love. Her love was like rays of sunshine warming the world around her with her smile, her warmth and compassion. Adie was an amazing mother, teaching her children and nurturing them in a loving and caring way, focused on their development and place in this world. Adie was so completely moved by the love she had for her husband, cherishing every day they had together and making a life for their family. Adie brought love, laughter, and a sense of purpose to her parents and siblings, the one always leading the way in a very close family. Adie was an amazing woman with so many talents. She expressed herself through her dance, playing saxophone, and was an amazing basketball player. Adie was driven from a young age on a path to success in everything she set her mind to, having recently finished her master's after completing a degree in chemical engineering and had a very successful career in cybersecurity. Adie loved her country, Israel. She lived on the land in a kibbutz, surrounded by her mishpacha, her family. Adie also loved Canada, was a proud Canadian citizen from a local Ottawa family with deep community ties, and made sure to convey this pride in Canada to her children. We are standing with the people of Israel in their fight against the terrorists that undertook this heinous act. Adie will be greatly missed by her family and many friends. We are in mourning, trying to process this unconscionable act of terrorism that took place on her kibbutz Holit and across the country. May her memory be for a blessing. On behalf of the Jewish Federation of Ottawa, I want to express our deep, deep condolences to her entire extended family here in Ottawa and in Israel. At the request of the family and their privacy, I will not be taking any questions on the circumstances of her brutal murder. We want the world to remember Adie for who she was, not for how she was brutally taken from her family, from her friends, and how society will never benefit from the myriad of contributions that she still had to give. Thank you.
Andrea, I know you don't want to talk about the details, but can you clarify where she was killed in Israel?
She was killed on her kibbutz.
On her kibbutz.
I'm gonna leave it at that. It's near the border. I gave the kibbutz name. It's Kibbutz Holit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can you clarify if she lived there or if she also lived here?
No, she lived in Israel. She has family in Ottawa.
Has she lived in Ottawa? Can you tell us about her connection to Ottawa?
So the family's really private, and I'd really prefer not to talk about any of her connections to Ottawa. Suffice it to say that she's got a very large extended family in Ottawa, and they're all very closely connected, and they're all deeply mourning right now.
But did she grow up here?
She grew up in Israel.
Was she a Canadian citizen?
Yes.
She was a Canadian citizen.
She was a Canadian citizen. I think why the family was willing to share Adie's story with all of you was that we get lost in numbers sometimes, and we hear that 1,100 Israelis were brutally murdered, and we don't know any of their names. We have trouble seeing their faces. We have trouble remembering that all of these people murdered were somebody's child. They were somebody's mother. They were somebody's father, and they had friends and family who are in deep, deep mourning today. And so Adie's family was willing to have me share her story so that you can have a face of one of those 1,100 Israeli families who are in pain right now, who are shattered, all because of the terrorist entity, Hamas. So her connection, she has extended family in Ottawa, and who are still in Ottawa. So her ties run very, very deep.
And did she consider herself a Canadian?
She had dual citizenship and considered herself a proud Israeli and a proud Canadian. And as I mentioned in the statement, that was important to pass on to her children.